your typical reading, and a Lèson. Your typical reading is usually a tarot card reading. This is what people usually do. You find a lot of people reading tarot cards. A Lèson is a bit more complicated than that. A Lèson can be a clairvoyant who is reading cards not by memory, but by clairvoyance. You have people at times which wear a blindfold around their eyes, so they do not see what the card has written on it. Now, when we see a person doing card readings at times, you'll notice for us Haitians is that we don't use tarot cards. We utilize playing cards at times. See, a Lèson can get more complicated than that, because when you come to us, at times we don't even use cards. You are talking directly to the spirit that is communicating through the person. See, this becomes more of a seance, if anything. A Lèson with us can be a necromantic session, because now we are dealing with necromancy. A person who is sitting down with a Lèson is not just going with cards now. This person is communicating directly with a loi, or he is directly communicating with a zombie or a mort. Excuse me, a dead person, a deceased person. A Lèson is more complicated. In the Lèson, what's present in gifts depends on the person, the cheval. The cheval means horse. In our culture, we have a figure of speech which says the person who serves the loi is the horse that the spirit rides. So when a person's doing a session for you, it can be the person has an interpreter with them, and the person is interpreting what's being said, because if you're going in person for a Lèson, at times, if you're an American and you're going to us, coming to us for a Lèson, they may have an interpreter who interprets, because when the spirit mounts them, they're communicating Creole, and you have someone in English that speaks English to interpret what the spirit is saying. Then there can be sessions where you have a person that communicates with the deceased or the loi, and they hear it in their head, and they're relaying the message back to you. Again, even in the first position which I mentioned, you have people that will go with the clairvoyance, your bat cat, they beat the cards, they shuffle cards, they do a card reading, but usually in a situation like that, it's usually playing cards. Not to say that there aren't a new wave or the younger generation that don't use tarot cards, because with the younger Haitian generation, a lot of people have been adopting new methods and adding to what they do. But when you come to a person for a Lèson, the difference we can see is that you may find some that use playing cards. You may find some who use playing cards, but they wear blindfolds. You may have some that have the loi to come through them, and they have their interpreter for the inquisitor. And in final, you have those that communicate directly with the spirit, and they hear the spirit voice speak to them. The spirit reveals what needs to be known, and that person just speaks it as the spirit gives them utterance. So you have a big difference when it comes to the differences between a reading and a Lèson.